What is a brand culture? Brand culture can be defined in many ways, but because today we're looking to avoid the biggest and most common mistakes in branding, I'm going to give it to you like this, a little tough love definition of brand culture. At the end of the day, the reality of your brand culture is defined by the way your shareholders feel about your brand. And it won't be your playful messaging, it won't be your snazzy packaging, it won't be your upbeat social media presence. Instead, the level of collective pride and trust and overall happiness that your employees and suppliers feel in regards to your brand will be the true tell-all, the truth of the truth that defines your brand culture. And whatever that brand culture amounts to, for better or worse, it's getting telegraphed, as is, to your customers. Elon Musk put it like this: a brand is just a perception, and over time, perception will match reality. And if the reality of your brand culture doesn't match the perception you want your brand to create in the minds and hearts of your ideal brand community, then it's only a matter of time before people will start to question the authenticity of your brand. When your team members' lives are improving because your brand is keeping its promise to them, then they will be more happy to make 100% certain that your customers know that your brand can be trusted and your brand keeps its promises. And that, in a nutshell, is the definition of a healthy brand culture. Richard Branson says there is no magic formula for great company culture. The key is to just treat your staff how you'd want to be treated. It's the golden rule, right? When people trust your brand, then and only then can a lasting relationship be formed. Always remember, no matter what business you're in, brand loyalty is your business plan. The great brands are ones that feel like home to the customers and the team alike. And building your brand like a great hometown means your first priority should always be on your brand's culture. So, what is internal user experience? Well, to put it plainly, internal user experience means what is life like for the people who make their living inside your company. When your team feels like your company is their hometown, a place that is fun to make good use of what they know, a place that is safe for them to try new things to help them grow, that feeling they have of your company being their hometown positively influences every customer experience. Hometowns are built through the culture of the people who live and work there. In the hometown of New York City, the structures are enormous, towering displays of industrial ambition, because that's the foundational culture of New York City. When preparing to build your brand like a hometown, the very first priority is making certain you're building on a strong foundation. And the foundation of any brand will always be its values and ethics. Values and ethics of a brand are more than just words on a paper. They are the guidelines, the sacred scrolls, the unimpeachable mandates that inform every company decision about what to do and how to act. And these mandates should apply to the highest ranking CEO down to the newest intern. Mixed messages regarding a company's values and ethics within the ranks of a company will result in extending mixed messages to your consumers. Mixed messages disrupt brand loyalty, and no matter what your business, brand loyalty is your business plan. Today's consumer culture is built on the foundation of discernment. Every time we make a purchase, whether it's a brand new car or a pack of gum, we now have so many options that we're involved towards choosing those brands that remind us of ourselves, the best of ourselves, what we love about ourselves, what we stand for, what we strive towards, our deepest held principles. And if the brands we choose are doing something to contribute to a greater good of humanity, then so are we by association. And we love being a part of a positive contribution to humanity. The decision to buy is emotional, and today's consumers are making their purchase decisions with their hearts. Why? Because that's what feels good. It's what feels best. The decision to buy is always emotional. It's been scientifically proven using MRI technology, which shows that our brains recognize our favorite brands in the exact same way we recognize our favorite people. A slick and clever pitch is no longer effective. A bright and shiny package does not close a sale. Not anymore. We read reviews, we Google you, we find business reports. We can read what employees are saying, and we can read what former employees have to say. Today's consumers are more connected than ever before with the brands they know and trust. The decision to buy is now more intimately informed from a multitude of sources. Seeing if your company is who you say you are has never been so easy to discern. Before making a purchase decision, your ideal individual now has the ability to reach beyond your advertisement, peel away the shiny exterior, and peer directly into the heart of your brand. The heart of any brand will always be the people who live and work within your community and their shared values and ethics. The demand for authenticity and self-identification for a brand is on a steady rise. An authentic brand that is built like a hometown has a well-defined culture that has been unified and upheld by the brand's values and ethics. In the earliest days of entrepreneurship, the innovations being brought to the people were for the people, for making their lives better, easier, healthier, safer, more fun, whatever it was. It was for the greater good of society. The products and services were being developed from the bottom up, meaning they were created by a person for the people, for the purposes of uplifting society. As business evolved to become more and more corporatized and more products and services began to develop from the top down, meaning they were being manufactured, designed, and distributed by corporations for the purposes of making money and then pushed down on the people through promotions and advertisement. This is where consumerism has picked up negative connotations. It's the stores being packed with hundreds of different varieties of the same potato chip or 80 different varieties of bottled water. In 2021, we're seeing a huge shift in this dynamic and a major return to brands that are people-centric. A dramatic and outstanding recent example of this return to bottom-up branding is CEO Dan Price, a tech entrepreneur who developed a credit card processing company called Gravity Payments. In 2015, it came to Price's attention that an employee of his was secretly working a second job at McDonald's to maintain her single-parent household. He responded by slashing his own $1.1 million pay package to fund a minimum living wage of $70,000 to all employees of Gravity Payments. Sounds like a good guy, right? At first, Price was heavily criticized. Guess by whom? The CEOs of other multi-million-dollar companies who didn't want a light to be shined on their own inflated salaries and underpaid employees. Price made this decision for the people. And since then, he has been hailed a success by the likes of Harvard Business School, Inc. magazine, which called to light that since the change in wealth distribution at Gravity, the number of employees had doubled, and the value of payments being processed by Gravity went from $3.8 billion a year to $10.2 billion a year. And while other corporations resent that Gravity is becoming a blaring example of how doing good for the people is actually good for business, this CEO isn't staying silent. A tweet sent out by Dan Price in April of 2021 reads, 6 years ago today, I raised my company's minimum wage to $70K. Since then, our revenue tripled, we're at Harvard Business School case study, and our employees had a 10x boom in homes bought. Always invest in people. In 1950, Jim Collins of Boeing said, everybody harps about it's all about responding to the outside world, but the great companies are internally driven and externally aware. Internally driven, externally aware. It isn't a novel concept for companies to aim towards cultivating employees that are proud of where they work and believe in the work they are doing. In fact, almost all businesses present themselves in this light, but the stats say otherwise. This is where it gets very, very important. Robert Kaplan in the Harvard Business School reported that a mere 7% of employees today fully understand their company strategies and what is expected of them in order to help achieve company goals. If you employ 100 people, only 7 of them know what is expected of them to help to reach the company goals. That's a losing battle. In a recent Gallup survey, more than 3,000 randomly selected workers were asked if they agree with this statement. I know what my company stands for and what makes our brand different from our competitors. Only 41% agreed with that statement. So it would appear that many companies are failing to help their employees understand what makes their brand outstanding. And if your employees don't know firsthand what makes your brand great, how can they possibly deliver that greatness to your customers? We can do better. We can leverage this information, this rampant incongruence in company values, by making a unified brand culture your brand's superpower. So let's look at a few brands who are already nailing brand culture. Zappos is a company that has cultivated its promise into the lives of its employees by choosing personalities that will represent the brand's values and ethics. The hiring process is the perfect place to start curating your brand culture. Zappos is a company that sells on-trend fashion, and they encourage their employees to express themselves through fashion, body art, outrageous hairstyles. Zappos has a reputation for excellent customer service. Their staff is authentically friendly and upbeat. To support and sustain these values, when you walk into a Zappos corporate office, you're going to find the employees' pets running around and people playing instruments in the break room. You may pass the room set up for taking a quick nap or decide to pop into the daily offered yoga class. Zappos took an online shoe store and built a billion-dollar empire based on excellent customer service that is backed by excellent employee service. Another brand culture superstar, Costco. Who doesn't love Costco? I love Costco. And apparently so do the employees. A study done by Business Insider revealed that most employees felt that their team members were like family. Costco is a company that is modeled to help large families and local family businesses save time and money. Every Costco employee starts out above minimum wage, regardless of their education level, with time and a half on Sundays and 7 paid holidays off. The health benefits are awesome. The full-time employees get paid lunch breaks. The holiday parties are generously catered with exciting giveaways. Everyone gets a free turkey on Thanksgiving. I mean, talk about building your brand like a great hometown, built on shared values and ethics. Richard Branson says clients don't come first, employees come first. If you take care of your employees, they will take care of the clients. So when upholding your brand's values and ethics becomes your first priority, your team becomes clear and committed about what makes your brand better than the competition. They become clear about what is expected of them to achieve your brand's goals. When your team is living your brand promise for themselves and feeling valued by your brand's values and ethics, it will be with pride that they deliver the promise onto your customers. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, you're creating something special that's going to make the people's lives better. You know, entrepreneurs are experts in human happiness. They fuel their passions by locating common sources of human unhappiness and provide the world with a solution for it. This higher purpose of serving the greater good of humanity is the foundation of every great brand culture. Simon Manwaring says, brands must become architects of community. I just love that. So why are entrepreneurs still hiring talent at $5 an hour? At that price point, you already know to some extent that you're only going to get what you pay for. Either someone's inexperienced and learning on your time, or someone doesn't know how to communicate their own value yet. How can they effectively communicate the value of your brand? How motivated will they be to do that? And at the end of the transaction, neither their lives nor the life of the brand are made better for it. Yes, having a sound financial plan is, of course, very important to the life of your brand. And yes, you should have a budget that is sustainable for you. But before you cut costs by reducing a brand's investment in people, consider investing in a consultation from a great financial planner instead. So many entrepreneurs, make the mistake of prioritizing costs and time over productivity, over brand culture, not realizing that a brand's investment in people will determine the people's investment in the brand. When it comes to knowing how to prioritize your brand culture over the cost of time, of productivity, just do what you do best as an entrepreneur. Be an expert in human happiness. Build a community and fortify that community with the love and support of your brand. Brands that act in the best interest of their employees, the stakeholders, and humanity at large will succeed in establishing their expertise, commanding leadership, and inspiring trust that will serve to strengthen the bond that they have with their brand community. This is the moment right now. Brands are in the spotlight, and it's a defining moment during a worldwide effort to heal from a collective crisis for brands to prove that they put people first. As entrepreneurs and experts in human happiness, the people are counting on us, and you're so much closer than you think to making a real impact, winning brand loyalty, and becoming an inspiration to millions. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.